Traveling to Hanamura.
Yeah.
We're all soldiers now.
Genji is with you.
I'm going to shoot you down.
Justice will be done.
The name's McCree.
That in the morning.
Bad guys, heads up.
Traveling to Hanamura.
Justice will be done. They're not as young as they used to be.
Traveling to Hanamura.
Justice will be done. I'll feel that in the morning. Feel that in the morning. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Traveling to Nepal.
I will be your shield.
Justice will be done.
Traveling to Numbani.
Together, we are strong.
Still kicking.
Traveling to Dorado. Traveling to Dorado. Traveling to Dorado.
Justice will be done.
Traveling to Dorado.
I'll be watching over you.
Now traveling to Busan.
Justice will be done. Ah! Not as young as I used to be. Ah!
online.
I'm not as young as I used to be. However, would I be able to do that? It looks like that technique is only going to go so far. That actually makes things a little hard. Because... yeah, that makes things a little hard. That right there wouldn't be. Maybe a little bit more. Are those lines specifically marking where no, we're getting close. not as young as I used to be.
This will help. Get ilahi fidak. Walk it up.
Feel like a new man.
I have your back. Enemy contact.
I feel certain.
Get healed.
Not strong enough.
This will help. Healing enhanced. Heal up. Walk it off.
Come on down!
Get here.
I'll feel that in the morning.
Enemy contact. Walk it off. Heal up. Healing enhanced. Walk it off. Heal up. Enemy in sight. This will help.
I'm not as young as I used to be.
Die wieder. Enemy contact. Healing enhanced. Die wieder. What's that? Heal up.
Огонь по готовности!
I'll feel that in the morning.
Enemy in my sight. Heal up. Walk it off. This will
I'm
help.
not as young as I used to be.
Heal up. Enemy contact. This will help. Heal up. Healing enhanced. Die easy. Heal up.
شرف المعلم.
have your back. Heal up. Enemy contact. Healing enough. Enemy in my sight.
This old dog still knows a few tricks.
Traveling to Horizon Lunar Colony.
The true enemy of humanity is disorder.
ده هيفيدك. This will help. Get healed.
Oh shit.
Walk it off.
But how?
Wait, I made a mistake. I should have put my shield, like, you know, in a better spot. Oh, you.
ده هيفيدك. Healing enough. Get healed. Walk it off.
Replays off the thing.
Heal up.
Not kill the Reaper. Let's see this. Did you raid for him? No, he shot me right after. That's ridiculous. What was that? That has to be a bug. What? Jesus.
Healing enough.
Nope. 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 Nope.
It's like, you know what? Fuck this shit, I'm ready.
Get healed.
Bye.
This would help.
Genji behind.
Daher wieder.
Yay! Mercy's a god.
Walk it off. Heal up.
Chinese Taipei will be starting off with Khan on the Roadhog here, it appears. And we will have Finland running the GOATS composition. They've been running and finding so much success with Fraggy's signature Reinhardt. Here's the battle.
Oh, swinging away here. So go ahead, flash into each other like waves. It'll be Fraggy coming up. The first kill as the tank will go down. Fire strike comes in. He's already got the shatter. Fraggy's feeling it. He's got one enough. That's all I need. All right, guys, get behind me. Jump on my.
Oh, he filled, he filled. I killed 5! I killed 5! I killed 5! I killed 5! Dude, holy shit! I just killed 5!
Walk it off. Heal up. This will help. Walk it off. Heal up. ده هيفيدك.
Okay, I'm going around the corner, and I'm gonna get someone off the cliff. It's a bit of a different spot, but I think it should work. Here we go. No! Oh, I got it! Yes! 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 No! What the fuck?
Press start.
I want to see if I can find, like, the exact right spot where if I charge from there, the person I pin will go off the cliff, but I will stay on. I think this seems like a kind of good place to start. This is a really dangerous thing to do. Holy shit. Okay, that was close. Let's go from there. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. They're in car wash. Who am I gonna go for? Oh. Yep, we're gonna go for the Bastion. Get him. Get him. I don't know which way to go. We did it! It worked! Yes! Okay, I'm gonna go back. We're gonna try and get the diva. Assuming she doesn't kill me. Okay, we gotta reset. Back to the same spot. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. No! God damn it, so close. Okay, round 2, baby. Who's gonna come round? Oh, it's Diva again. Here we go. Yes! She's off. She's off. Oh, wait. Oh, God, she has her flying thing, doesn't she? No! Of all the people I could have charged, it was the one who has a jetpack. God damn it, that's just my luck. Okay, let's do this again. Oh, hey, dude. Okay, we've got time for one more. 10 seconds left. Oh no, got the Diva again. Are you kidding me? I fucking hate her so much. No, I gotta go again. I gotta go again. I have to get someone. Other than that one Bastion. She was the only one who was in the right spot. God damn it, this was a really, really crappy first try. Darby, you're Reinhardt as well? Let's be cliff charging buddies.
This is gonna go so badly.
No, Tava. A strategy as insane as this could only go well. Okay, so to pull off your very first cliff charge, you're going to want to stand on these pillows, and you're going to want to charge in this direction, like this. See? Okay, I'm going around the corner, and I'm going to get someone off the cliff. It's a bit of a different spot, but I think it should work. Here we go. No! Oh, I got her! Yes! 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 No! What the fuck? Oh my god! Oh my god, that was beautiful. Okay, Tava, this is it. Your moment to shine. You gotta charge them off the last point and over the cliff. Go, 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 go! You got the fire, yes! You did it! Oh, you kind of went a bit too far, I think. But the principle was there, you almost had it. Here, let me show you how it's done. No, they all went on to me! God fucking damn it! I missed them all! Okay, so practice formation. We're gonna make a circle. Yep. Yeah, that's it. Oh, look at that. The Reinhardt turtle. Oh god! It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh my god, it's actually working. Oh. There's a dragon coming to the cart. Oh, we got him. Yep, just stay on the cart. Stay on the cart. Keep pushing. I'm going to try and go all the way forward to their spawn and just keep them there. Yep, just keep going. Keep going. Oh, Bastion. Got him. I think we've done it. I'm just keeping him in spawn.
This will help.
Oh my god, we won! This is amazing! This is amazing!
Oh my god.
You know, at this stage, I think I'm just incapable of playing this game normally.
Just shoot it.
We really want the discs to come out, don't we? This is teamwork. This is the height of teamwork in Overwatch. Everyone's shooting the record player to make discs fly out.
Traveling to Volskaya.
Tava! Tava?
No.
Tava, it has cliffs.
I'm sorry, no.
Okay, I'm in my spot. I'm in my spot.
This Widowmaker on their team is trying so hard.
Don't worry. I'll charge her off the cliff. I'm gonna charge everyone off the cliff. I think they know that I'm here though. Please, I just need someone to walk in the other door. Anyone. I'm ready! Let's go! Oh, I did it! I did it! I got him!
Clearing the area.
Someone get in here. Oi, look, I'm a big tasty Reinhardt. Come into my secret chamber. That sounds a little bit dirty. There we go, there we go, there we go. There he is! Oh god, I accidentally picked him up on the way! I did it, Tava, I did it!
Heal up.
No! Oh shit! Oh, it was a tiny bit too far. Come on. Come on! Yes! I got one! Yes! See you later, Torby! I'm getting good at this, Tava. I'm getting good. Okay. We're gonna bait someone inside this room and then charge them off the cliff. Using the cliff strat. Okay, there we go. The bait is set. I actually killed someone. Here comes Reaper. Let's get him! No, he phased! Son of a bitch! Look how high up we are. I'm a little bit scared. Oh, whoa. Okay. We're...
Get healed.
Pass into the iris. Down.
This will help.
Double kill.
Hold on, where was he when he started that charge? Did it show that?
Walk it off. This will help. Walk it off. Heal up.
What's up, everybody? Today I'll be showing you the best Reinhardt cliff charge areas in Overwatch. These are the best, and some are just making you kill yourself. Well, without further ado, let's get on to the video. Okay, this first one on Nubani, you're gonna want to go up against the wall and just charge him straight. Just charge him straight into this area. You're gonna kill yourself, but I mean, it's a good spot. The second one on Nubani is on the point. You just want to get against this wall and charge him all the way to these rails.
Walk it off.
This one on Nubani, I don't know. This one's weird, but you just want to get in this doorway. I don't know what I did there, but it's one of them. This one, you're gonna want to get in this door, and you're gonna want to push him all the way to that cliff right there, and you won't fall. On Volskaya Industries, you're gonna get next to this forklift and go all the way to this cliff. These are very good for, you know, getting a one pick before a team fight. You're gonna get on the bottom of these stairs, I guess, and charge him through this hallway off the cliff. You're gonna get on the bottom of these stairs again and charge them all the way onto these stairs off the platform. You're going to bench, so right on this bench all the way to the other one by Roadhog. You're gonna want to get on the top of these stairs right here on Oasis. We're in the middle of them. Go through here and into the road. Hopefully there's a car to kill him. This one's very important to know, and people use it a lot. Just want to go right outside the choke, through this, past the bell, and off the cliff. Easy. A lot of people don't know that. This one, you're going to want to get on this second little block, go all the way up the stairs, off these rocks, and off this cliff. You're gonna want to get parallel to this health pack, or a little bit further, and go all the way up the stairs and off this. So you barely made it. And here you're gonna want to get on this little square or whatever on the floor. See right there. And go up those stairs, and you should be alive. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. Thank you. Bye.
This will help.
Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video today, a new Reinhardt guide. Yes, the second part is finally here. We've had a lot of requests and there's quite a lot to go through. As always, the comment section is the place to let me know if I miss anything and what other guides you'd like to see. But be sure to check out our advanced guide playlist where there's quite a lot of different heroes in there, and some of them like Genji have got multiple guides because there's a lot to cover. So let me know what you want us to cover next time. The first thing I want to show you guys though is an extreme example of an attacking Reinhardt and how important it is to hit his pin. Now, how many times have you been in a game where you run into a Reinhardt that is just wrecking your team? Well, in this guide I want to show why they do that and how they do that and what makes such a good Rein player. Straight away, the fire strikes in, initiation, slam down the enemy team, and it's already game over for that point, and we win it that simply just because I, as Reinhardt, took the initiation, my team followed up, and we won the point. Now that of course is an extreme example of it going perfectly, and you'll see again that I do it in a second. So one common misconception that I hear very regularly, even at high diamond and masters, is stop going in as much with Rein, stop pinning so much with Rein. Well, actually, that's kind of his job. His shield only lasts so long, and with how fast the game is at the minute, once that shield's gone, you have to have a plan of action, and Reinhardt's only other plan of action is to attack. So once again, straight in the fight, fire strike everyone, then you put your shield up to save your team, the nano comes in, and then again, wipe the enemy team again. So, pinning, very, very important, particularly on attack. It's great for initiation, and if you're a Zarya, get ready for your Rein to pin so that you can shield him as well to keep him alive that little bit longer. Now, this isn't necessarily something that just has to be done in the nano meta. You don't have to have an Ana, but it does of course help if she's pocketing you and if you've got nano boost being thrown your way every now and then. But for the focus of this video, what I mainly want to talk about is actually how to Rein defensively, because it's a very similar principle, but it's more difficult to do. You've got to pin or be pinned. Sometimes you run into a Reinhardt that's very, very good on the enemy team and he absolutely ruins you. Well, how do you counter that? If he's pinning you and pinning your team, how do you counter a Rein that is doing that? Well, you have to play mind games with him, because the team with a better Rein in a Rein v Rein situation, or a game that's got Reins all the way through, the better team with the Rein is going to win. It's that simple, because it's that important to wipe out the other Rein. So you have to duke out the enemy team's fire strikes. Don't walk into them at the start of the game. Don't run the obvious routes. Don't walk into the fire strikes. But more importantly, even on defense, you've still got to hit the money pins. Now at the start you would have seen I actually hit a pin, but I failed and I got killed, and that's because I initiated on the wrong time. However, I'm about to show you how to initiate properly. A fire strike does hit me, but I managed to pin the Rein and take him out straight away. Even on defense, this is a massive advantage. We slam the enemy team down and we wipe them all. So this is what I want to put forward to you guys, is if you're a defensive Rein and you've got your shield up, it's going to get shredded. It is going to go and you're going to be left with no utility other than your fire strike, which isn't that helpful without your shield. The only other thing you could possibly do then with Rein is to take the battle, is to take the pin and hit the pin, more importantly, because if you miss it, you die. And if you don't pin them, they're going to pin you. If you come up against a good Rein, then yes, mind games. They're trying to duke out your pin, you're trying to duke out their pin, and that becomes an even more complicated situation, and that can't be taught. That can only come down to experience and becoming a better Rein through playing the game. But the importance of hitting a pin will never change, especially when your shield's gone and you've got no more options. But then, as I say, a decent Rein will know this. They'll think, well, his shield's gone, he's going to pin me. So in that situation, you may actually have to try to bait out his pin by taking some damage or moving away a little bit. Now, there's a million different angles that you can come from, but the focus of this guide is how important it is not to miss your pins, but also more importantly, how much pinning you are doing. It's the pinning to shield ratio that a lot of people don't get right. Now I want to show you a good example of this Rein v Rein pinning situation, because you'll see that their Rein comes in and misses everything. Gives me the opportunity to turn around and pin him easily, slam him and his friends down, and we wipe the team. This is a very good example of what not to do as Ryan, especially on attack. If you're going to initiate with your pin, that's fine, but one, you have to hit something, and two, it has to be followed up on. You'll see again, I'll put it in slow motion, he misses everything. I then counter pin him, my team follow up, and he didn't win the point. However, if he'd have waited for me to come back around that corner and he had pinned me, it would have gone completely different, and that's how big of an impact these Rhine pins have on the game. Now I'm going to show you some gameplay on King's Row of trying to have the balance between aggressive Rhine and shielding. You'll see that they come in and they absolutely destroy us, but the Zen does save us, and it manages to just keep the game open a little bit. The enemy team back off, and so do we, and we're in a fairly even battle. I missed the pin, but you'll see here that I'm duking in between putting up my shield and trying to deal damage, and this doesn't change. For the next 30 seconds or so, even though when I get nanoed and I miss the pin again, I'll still start swinging for things, but I try not to overextend. Overextending again with Rhine is the same issue, and it's much easier to do with a pin, and it's much easier to mess up on defense. The reason is the pins are harder to hit on defense, but also if you go too far away from your team, you leave them vulnerable and you make yourself vulnerable, and it doesn't end well. The last section here, you'll see that me and the Rhine are trying to duke out each other's damage, but we're simply doing more damage to their shield than they are to ours. I'm still not hitting the pin too early, and we wait for all the ultimates and slam them down. If I'd have tried to hit the pin on the Rhine there, that's the perfect example of what I just said. I would have overextended and missed everything, and the enemy team probably would have killed us. I only decided to try and pin the last guy because he's on his own, and we managed to wipe him and then back off to the car. I now want to show you some very messy gameplay on Hanamura, and these examples are good for your learning experience and my own because I did some really bad things, but we managed to get away with it, and I'll explain why. The enemy team, again, just duking out each other's shield, and I don't manage to slam the enemy team down, and they pin me. In this situation, we should have lost the fight, but we got very, very lucky. We managed to confirm a couple of kills, and I tried to pin someone and kill them, but they do manage to get the massive ults down, and we can't deal through the damage. So again, back up here, you'll see I took a swing for them, but don't overcommit to the fight with Reinhardt. You're not necessarily a damage dealer, and you have definitely got to shield your team at the right time. So there was one good decision that I actually made, but you'll notice that I then have to repair my shield. I cannot in this situation keep my shield up because it's going to go down and we're going to lose, but I get slammed and I overcommit to repairing my shield. It gives us a massive vulnerability, and then we get grabbed, but Fredo manages to save the entire team by wiping them with his ult, and then we're back in the same fight 6v6 once more. You'll see that the enemy team have actually backed off because we wrecked their Rhine shield, which is good play by their Rhine. Then I hit the counter initiation pin and slam the entire enemy team down. This manages to open the fire for us, and we get to wipe all of them. Now, it was a very messy fight. I lost the pin battle, but I got lucky. I kept my shield down for too long, but I got lucky. And we still managed to win the fight because my team saved me. But that was an example of bad Rhine play. And it brings the whole example in one that I'm trying to give to you guys is the balance between shielding and pinning and being aggressive is a very fine line. It's not always easy to know when to do it, and sometimes you just have to do one or the other and hope for the best. I don't think anyone can play it perfectly, and when you're playing against a decent Rhine, the only thing to do is to out-mind game him, because if he pins you more than you pin him, you're going to lose. And on defense, it's even harder to do that game because you know that their Rhine's going to pin you, but you've still got to avoid it and pin him back, or at least get him trapped on your side of a May wall or something in order to capitalize on him overextending and missing his pin on you. So back on Hanamura, the enemy team are regrouping. They're coming up the hill again, and just dodge the fire strike. There's no point in standing in front of it. Just get out of the way of it. You can't block from it. The enemy team are coming up, and the shield's up, of course. Try and shield the enemies, throwing a fire strike back as well. Now this is where you try to duke out once more. The enemy team aren't really committing to their fight, and it's going to give us the opportunity to open something up in a second. You'll see my Rhine shield's gone, and it has to be go time or hide. I do try to recover some of my shield rather than go in because I think a pin at this point is bad. Back with the shield, and it's getting damaged again, and they're not really fighting. You don't have to commit to a fight if the enemy team aren't either. You'll see here that I'm trying to recharge my shield and take some damage for the team. We managed to ult, I pin in, slam them down again. wipe the enemy team once more. The McCree does kill me, but I do manage to block all of the damage off there again. So that was a much better example of shield down. Do I pin? Do I not pin? You'll see I'll play it again. Do I pin? No, actually, I won't yet. I'll just repair my shield, take a bit of damage, trust my healers to heal me because they can't really miss you, right? You're Reinhardt and Anna's going to heal you. And then once you've got your health back, your shield back, you then do it again. You put your shield up and you wait for that pin. Don't let anyone tell you you shouldn't be pinning as Ryan. It is your job, even on defense, although it's much harder to coordinate, of course, and you need to make sure you don't pin all the way across map into the enemy spawn, because all you're doing then is opening the fight for the enemy team. So guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope that this opened up Ryan in a different light to you guys, because he is an aggressor even though he is defensive as well. His shield's great, but it doesn't last forever, and capitalizing once that shield's down is exactly what you need to learn. Drop your shield if you need to. If you feel like you need to heal your team some more or protect them, yes, put your shield up. But if it breaks, charge in, kill everything. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, follow our stream and our Discord, where you guys can play with each other, group up, all consoles, all platforms, all regions. It's a very, very good community, over 2,000 people strong most of the time. So guys, I hope you all have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and this is Overanalyzed, my awesome Overwatch coaching series. Now, the last video, I noticed there were quite a few negative comments off some people. Most comments, 90%, are very positive, because remember, this is a community effort to become better players together. It doesn't matter what rank you are or any of that stuff. None of that matters. All that matters is that you want to become a better player, and everybody who submits video footage to this series wants to become a better player. So that's what it's here for, and it helps hundreds of thousands of other people become better at their game as well. Now, if you would like to send a video clip into this series, what you need to do is email overanalyzedow@gmail.com. In the title of the email, you must write your SR, so you know what your rank is in your SR, your heroes that you play, this could be 1, 2, 3, how many you play in that game, and the map that you play on. Now, the very first line of the email description must be a link to your YouTube video of you playing. Now, I only accept YouTube videos. Do not send me files. I will not download them. You must record your gameplay, however you're going to do that, whether you're on the consoles or you're using external programs on PC. Maybe you're using, I don't know, Shadowplay or something. Then you upload that footage to YouTube and send me the link to the video. I will take the video off YouTube, and that's how we do it. Alright guys, alright, let's get stuck into this. So, this is a Reinhardt on King's Row. It is a 2,222 rated gold Reinhardt, so this should be a very interesting clip. And also remember, I've played a lot of Reinhardt, so this might be a little bit harsh, but if it is harsh, just take it on the chin. I'm not trying to be nasty to you or anything, I'm just sort of giving you advice. It will be good advice. Let's do this. Okay, so we don't know what the team is just yet, but I guess we'll find out in a second. You've left the spawn with the shield, that's cool. That was a... See, this fire strike was a waste of a fire strike. You need to land your fire strikes more than the enemy Reinhardt, because you will get your earth shatter faster. Remember, Reinhardt versus Reinhardt is a mind game. You've got to outplay that Reinhardt, and that there is a waste of your fire strike. You kind of don't need your shield active there, because it's taking you long to get into the choke. You should have had it down, then walked into the choke. So one thing I'm noticing here... Oh, no, this is killing me. There's no voice comms. Where is the chat? Where is the... Like, where's your face up here? And you're like going, guys, we're going in. Oh, now, one thing, actually, this is a European clip as well, which you could probably tell by the footage earlier on. So, sometimes communication can be an issue on European servers, because remember, not everybody speaks English, but it would have helped if you at least tried to communicate in some way. I also noticed that you're in a group as well, so you should probably, you know, why you're not even talking within your group, at least talk to your group. My issue with this, though, is you have just walked into this choke and you just stood there and took damage, which is not great. You need to tell your team that you're going to go in. You're going to... Oh, it's triggering me. It's triggering me, guys. All right, so what's happened here is this is not great. This is pretty bad Reinhardt play, because what's happened is you have just stood in the choke here and took loads of damage to your barrier, which is now at 498 HP, which is not great. You need to make a decision. You either want to go straight into them, yeah,
or you want to go around the statue. Now, going around the statue is a good plan. You could go into the hotel there, but I'm not a big fan of that because that's going to put you into a little choke, and that's not great. What you did, though, was the worst decision of all. You just stood here and let them destroy your barrier. Another thing with voice comms, you need to tell your team what the HP of your barrier is. Your barrier is at 500 HP there. What I generally do is I'll call out when it gets to 1,000, I'll call out when it gets to 500, and I'll call if it's about to break, or I'm going to drop it to do something. Because if you're going to fire strike, you need to tell your team behind you, because maybe they've got a widow or something. You don't want you guys standing behind you, you drop the shield, they get killed. That would be catastrophically bad. All right, let's see how this plays out. So you've backed off a little bit. There, Reinhardt's charging. Now, there is a thing which every Reinhardt player should do, and that is counter-charge. When you see the enemy Reinhardt charging you, you immediately charge him back, right? What this will do is knock you both down to the ground. It means you stop his charge from connecting to any of your team, because it will not kill you if you're a fully healed Reinhardt, right? Well, it won't kill you anyway. You'll just fall down to the ground and sort of stun each other. Hopefully your team will follow through, but we'll see where this guy goes. So he's knocked you back. Is he behind you? Your barrier's gone, but again, none of your team knew that because you didn't tell them. You've backed up. All right, there he is. So the Reinhardt is sort of... Oh, it looks like he was just asleep, actually. So this Reinhardt was asleep there. So you got knocked back by the Reinhardt charging. You could have got pinned, which could have been bad for you. But luckily you didn't. You just got knocked back because you were not close enough to get pinned effectively. And you got moved back into this area over here, which then you were sort of disorientated. I was disorientated. I didn't know what the hell was going on. But it turns out their Reinhardt actually ended up there and was put to sleep by Anna. Now, if you knew where you were, you maybe could have counter-charged this guy back, although that opportunity is kind of gone now. See, a lot of Reinhardt play is all about knowing what the hell is going on. And you kind of didn't there. And let me get rid of that off the screen. Right, he says, oh no, it's failing. Get rid of that. Okay. So that was a ballsy charge, which worked out, so we'll let you off. See, now you've moved around the statue. Now, this is a good position to be in. Fire strike was a bit random. Okay, this is quite bad. This, I would not advise doing this, because what is going on here? If we look at the screen, right, and all of the information is on the screen right here. So you've got your Genji player there. You've got your Zarya there. Now, I think you've got a Lucio and Anna healing from what I've just seen. Oh, well, your Lucio's actually dead, which is not great, and your Soldier's dead. So I think you've actually got a fairly decent team. Again, I'm not sure what the team composition is just yet, because you didn't show me the hero select screen. So always make sure you include that, guys, on your recording. So what we've got here is not a great time to charge. You should just be standing still with your barrier up, basically, providing a barrier here to stop these guys doing damage, because there's a Zarya, there's a Soldier, well, if I draw over him, there's a Soldier, there's a Mercy, and there's a Lucio. Your Genji looks like he's going to go into here, which is not going to probably go too great for him because there's 3 enemy players there. So let's see what happens. So you should have been more defensive here and not charged them. You've missed the charge. So basically, a lot of Reinhardt play is knowing when to go in and brawl and when to play defensive. So you've left your team sort of exposed a bit there by charging in. But you've ended up on the Mercy. This isn't too bad. If you kill the Mercy, this is good. Right, Mercy's dead. Zarya's dead. This now is the time to just swing. But if you had your charge available now, you could charge straight forward and maybe get that Soldier. Because remember, it's easier to get people with the charge when they're closer to you as well. So you could have charged through there. Zarya's really low. Beat her head in. Smash her, smash her, smash her. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Smash. Genji goes in and you die. But I think you've got the point here. Yeah, you should have the point, definitely. So that was a little bit risky what you did there, but it worked out in the end. I think if you played a little bit more defensively and then had your charge available when I said you should have charged, you might have been able to kill their Soldier and maybe even prevented yourself dying. It looks like they're trying to take the point, but your Soldier's doing work. They've still got a Torbjorn. Nano Boost is in on your team. That's okay, that's okay. All right, and you're going forward. Now, this is an interesting point here. This bit on King's Row, when you take the payload, you'll notice a lot of Reinhardts just go and stand by the payload and wait for it to move. You don't actually have to do that. You could move forward with your team here, so I'm hoping you kind of do. So you're protecting Anna right now, which is awesome, means Anna can do work. This is great. Zarya goes forward. She's fine. She's got bubbles. All right, so they've kind of backed off now. You see, that was great. That was awesome. They've backed off now, so it's cool. You can go and get 3 people on the payload and move it forward. So that was a good decision. I like that. Really good. Okay. I think what I'm about to see now is probably bad positioning around the payload. Now, this video, I've not actually watched it through. I've just purely picked this based off its video quality, and I wanted to do a Reinhardt gameplay around gold somewhere. And this is the best one I came across with my quality check. So what I'm expecting to see now is bad positioning on the payload. Basically standing where you are on top of the payload is not great. You should use the payload. Like, think of the payload as the best tank in the game, right? Standing in front of it like this, it's okay. I mean, you could even be further forward here, sort of towards the edge of the bookshop, like here. and put your barrier up maybe here to protect your team, because it looks like all of your team are basically there, and that will let them do damage down there and protect them. Like this shield here where you've got it, it's doing nothing, right? But what I was going to say is your positioning on the payload, this isn't great, because usually you want to use the payload as a shield, so you should sort of be behind it, or maybe to the side of it, and have your barrier up with the payload, if that makes any sense. Alright, let's go. Let's see what happens. Alright, so there, Reinhardt comes around. They put you into a grab. Keep your shield up. This is good. This is good. This is good. Their soldier is ulting. No, your soldier's ulting. Their soldier's ulting? Yeah, their soldier's ulting behind. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Keep your barrier up. Okay, ult's down. This is good. This is really good. You've identified where he is, and you're stopping him doing damage to your barrier. Just forget him now. Forget him. You didn't have to take damage there. You could have kept your barrier up. Like, I think, remember, with Reinhardt, you're this massive target. People can charge their ultimates up off you, but they can't charge their ultimate off your barrier. So if your barrier stayed up then, he wouldn't have been able to get more ultimate charge by shooting you. And you could have easily kept it up. That positioning there was great by the payload, but your team have gone forward here, so you do need to go out and help them. Now, another thing to notice here, I mean, one thing I'm noticing, there's just no voice comms in this game, which isn't great anyway. You don't have to make friends with people, just have to say basic stuff. Like you could say, I've got Earth Shatter. That means their Reinhardt has probably got Earth Shatter as well. Almost a lot of the time, Reinhardts generally get theirs kind of the similar time. You should have yours before because you've been involved in more of a brawl, so you've definitely got yours. That Fire Strike's not going to hit anything. That's going to hit the wall. Yeah, that's hit the wall. You can actually get it through there, but again, you just sort of did that. I don't know why you did that. Like, don't waste your Fire Strike. Oh! Voice chat. Lucio. Hello, Lucio. Hello. I think he said somebody's behind. Case in point there. Look, he said somebody was behind. You've turned around. I can see him. I can see him. I can see him. Look, look, look. Look, there he is. Look, there's some sort of... Well, it'd be Soldier, won't it, from earlier on. So Soldier's there, but he's just told you he's there. Like, you need to be this guy if you're Reinhardt, because you know what's going on. Yeah, there's Soldier, right? This is an iffy situation. Right, you're going in for a hero charge. Alright, it worked. Now, alright, that was... We can actually look at the team here as well. But alright, that was okay, right? What you did there is you just went YOLO charge into Soldier. If Soldier was clever and didn't get charged by you, he could have maybe killed that Lucio or at least done damage to him. But he should have been able to put quite a bit of damage into you. What my first thought straight away would have been, I'd turned around, I'd Fire Strike, yeah, because I'd have it available because I didn't waste it earlier. Maybe yours did actually come off cooldown then, I'm not sure. But you would put your barrier up and you just play safe to get the payload to the checkpoint, because you're not going to be able to damage the Soldier. He can just shoot you, run away, shoot you, run away. But you charged him and you caught him, so that was kind of lucky. But a better Soldier player would have baited you into that and done a ton of damage to you there from behind. So you needed to play a little bit safer. Alright, let's see what your team's got. So, your Reinhardt, great. Lucio, that's great. Genji, that's fine. Soldier, that's fine. Zarya, fine. And Ana, that's fine. And the team you're playing into, again, is a pretty standard sort of defensive team. I mean, the Torbjorn at this point might not be the greatest, but it's, you know, it's fine. Hero selections don't really matter too much. What I'd be looking for is if they didn't have a healer, or if you didn't have, you know, you only had one healer or something crazy like that. Alright, so, spraying the floor. Yeah, I love it. So you've got Earth Shatter now. I'd be looking to use this if I can. That's not a bad Fire Strike. It didn't hit anybody. But remember, at this point, you kind of don't have to do damage with your Fire Strike because you've got Earth Shatter. Sure, damage is going to help and you want to damage the enemy team, but all you'd be doing there is allowing them to heal up and get ultimate charge, unless your team are going to follow through strong, which I'm not really getting the vibe that they're going to do that. So, sort of, it was a waste, right? You're not being contested. This is an interesting position, actually. So you're walking forward here in the wrong position. Remember what I said about the payload, right? It's behind you. You should be behind the payload. Use the payload as a wall. It's a mobile tank that takes no damage. It is the best. Instead, you're out front here. You're taking a load of damage to your barrier. You've got bubble off Zarya, so that's cool. And this is another thing, actually, with Zarya. You should be looking for synergy. When you want to charge, you should be asking for the bubble. Zarya, is your bubble up? If it's up, charge, because she'll give you the bubble, and you're basically immune, and it helps two members of your team. You'll do more damage, and she'll do more damage. Alright, this is kind of okay. Fire Strike into that's fine. See, the payload's right next to you here. You should be behind the payload. But you're still in front of the payload. Still taking a lot of damage. You need to tell your team what your barrier's on. You're going to take a Fire Strike. You don't really want to take Fire Strikes because that's going to charge the enemy Reinhardt. That's not good, so he's going to get more ultimate charge. Torbjorn's come down Molten Core. Alright, we've got a decision to make here. Actually, you've lost some of your team. In fact, this is a bad decision because you've got into a small little choke, which is not great. I would charge now. Just charge. Alright, you're trying to swing. Like, you cannot beat a Molten Core Torbjorn with melee attacks. He will kill you. You have to charge him. It's the only hope you've got. And it looks like he's being healed as well. Yeah, that was just bad positioning. You should have been behind the payload, not in front of it, and you definitely should have it should not have gone into that small room at all. Unless you were going to go and, like... I was expecting you to run around behind them and maybe try some sort of crazy earth shatter, which I don't recommend. Alright. That's good as well, charging out of the spawn. She's wildly out of position, so that's fine, trying to kill her. You don't need your shield up now. You don't need it up. You need to be in front of the team. Like, when you've got your shield up, you move slower. Drop the shield and get up with the team. Another thing you can be saying as well, which is generally what I do when I play Reinhardt. You've got your Earth Shatter here. You've had it for almost all of the game and you've not used it. You should be telling your team to burn their barrier. If you burn it down, you can Earth Shatter at will, because without that barrier, Reinhardt cannot stop your ultimate. Right, you've got a sound barrier, so this is actually okay. You've got a sound barrier, run in, just start smashing, that's cool. Charge. He's ulted you. Oh dear. I would have charged him, but I think he's ulted you, right? Alright. Okay. You're actually winning the fight, that's cool. This is a YOLO charge. You see, this charge is too late, right? I would have charged that Reinhardt as soon as he dropped down. Thing is, though, it actually worked out in your favor because he used his ultimate. Because if you killed him immediately, like I would have been thinking, like, why the hell is he jumping down? He would still have his ultimate left when they respawn, because they will get a chance to contest this hit. And you've dived down there, which is okay, because, I mean, they've only got Mercy there. So, this is okay doing this. And you actually get it. This is awesome. That's fine. But you managed to get a resin. Right, now you're behind them and you've got Earth Shatter. This is a great time to use the Earth Shatter. We've got a Diva and we've got a... I think that's a Lucio. Let's see what... Yeah, it's Lucio and he's about to drop the beat. Okay. Okay, you've... Okay, okay. This is not a great use of the ultimate, because what you've done here is you've used your ultimate to just smash Lucio, because the Diva's backed off. She was over there. She's gone. You're going to drop your ultimate in the cone, like in this direction, and you're only going to put Lucio down, but he's already dropped the beat, as you can see all the animation. So all you've done is solo ulted the Lucio, which is basically the worst target you could ult. You'd want to ult any other target than just the Lucio, because what's the point? I mean, your whole team is there. Yeah, so you've just got the Lucio. At least charge him. Oh, you don't have charge. At least Fire Strike. Fire Strike. Yeah, and then smash him. I would be very, very worried about being in this position. There is a massive hole to your right. This thing here, it's bad news. You can get knocked off there by Lucio. He can easily run round and knock you off. You really, really don't want that. Let's see what happens. Oh, no. Don't tell me you get knocked off. I can hear Soldier ulting. We need to find Soldier. I would have choked to death. Oh, my God. Highly professional. Right, you can hear Soldier ulting. You need to get your barrier into Soldier's face as fast as possible. I don't know where he is. Okay, there he is. So, right, you're charging back to help your team. This is cool. This is fine. You might have got lucky and caught one of them, but you didn't. Soldier has killed your support, so this push is basically over. That Reinhardt has gone too deep. This push now, this is over, right? But there is a very bad thing which has just happened. You are too deep now, right? You cannot get out of this fight. There is a Reinhardt behind you, there is a Soldier on top of you, and Zarya has just used her ultimate. You have to go in now. You've just got to go in and see what you can do. The odds are heavily against you here, so... Again, like, going down this side is not the greatest, especially here with Lucio off to the left, because they can knock you into the hole. Diva can headbutt you down into the hole, which is not what you want. Your Soldier's playing a big game. He's just got 3 kills. This shot... Ooh, alright, okay. You might have been able to get the Reinhardt there if you missed the payload. Maybe better charge control might have got that Reinhardt. And then you're dead. See, so that is frustrating, because what happened there is a critical ultimate was used by Zarya, which you kind of needed for this push now. But you did the right thing. You just went in. You had no choice there. You had to go in. Zarya's almost made the decision for you there. And it almost worked, because Soldier did a ton of damage. Yeah, you must use his tac visor, yeah, and he got a load of kills. Okay, so we're moving around the corner. We've got our shield up. We need to be telling our team that we've got 1k left on it now. Try and avoid getting hit by the Fire Strike, because it means that he's getting ult charge. You don't want that. This is a very interesting position to be in here. You could charge him. And that might make your team to come forward. But this is like... And maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. You could either play defensive, you still got 600 HP left on the barrier, or you could just charge this guy. Looks like he's charging you. You need to charge him back. Charge him back, charge him back. Lucky, lucky boy. You've been booped up in the air. That is very lucky, but you've actually just lost Genji there. The Reinhardt has killed Genji. That there wasn't like, whatever. That was just a charge decision. You must counter-charge a Reinhardt. When Reinhardt charges at you, you have to charge him back. As soon as you see him charge, it's so easy to counter. You just press shift or whatever button it is on consoles to charge. The moment you press it, it doesn't matter. You don't have to wait for the animation or anything like that. You will go into charge state. He hits you and you both fall down. It is the best way to deal with a charging Reinhardt like that when he's just in your face. There, Reinhardt has just gone deep there. He's to your left. He's to your left. What? He's to your left. Yeah, kill him. So you failed to notice that Reinhardt just went deep. What you should do now is charge him. You've got charge up. You should have charged him. Turned around and charged him before this, but you should charge him now. This is such an easy charge. It's point blank. He's going to earth shatter you. Oh, you could have... You'll notice one thing that's happening throughout this clip. He's using more earth shatter than you because he's just going in YOLO and just smashing, smashing, smashing. But you could have charged him to stop this. You could have stopped this. So he's sort of winning this mind game with you in a way. And he's just killed one of your supports. You've killed him. Okay. You could charge. You should have charged down there into that diva. And then at least put your barrier up in front of them. And like block to the right. We need to think about blocking to the right. Yep. Okay, this is okay. This is okay. Barrier, yep. Genji's killing everybody. You've still got Earth Shatter. This actually is not a bad time to have Earth Shatter because you can stop their reinforcements. Like, this here could be an ideal... Like, I would Earth Shatter right now. Lucio and a charging Reinhardt, I'd smash... Yes! Come on, come on. So you're going to do it. Awesome. Yeah, yeah. That is a money Earth Shatter. That is great. That is such a value Earth Shatter because they're coming in there to stop this. And if that Reinhardt gets in and he puts his barrier up, it's going to take a lot of time to get rid of him. You have just wrecked him. You want to fire strike and then charge him, but I think you've committed to the charge. He's going to die anyway, so that's fine. You still got fire strike. That was lucky as hell. You just randomly fire striked at the payload and killed the Lucio. That's okay, though. Your team would have killed him anyway. Just keep swinging, keep swinging. Doesn't matter about that. Yep. Just charge, swing, whatever. Smash, kill. Oh, a res. Charge, kill, smash, swing. Swing! Why have you stopped swinging? Keep swinging, swinging, swing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this is kind of looking bad now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You should have... I don't know why you stopped swinging there. Oh, no. Now, this is down to your team. See, it looks like your team is kind of winning. They've got a Mei. Zarya's gone big. I think you've got this. I hope you've got this. You should have. There's just Mei left. I don't think he's been killed. What's going on? Yeah, there's Mei. Okay. Right, there we go. So Mei lasts for ages on the payload. Terrible stall character. Right. One thing I've noticed is you don't want to rely on your team to do stuff. Like, there has been a lot of examples there just on that attack where you could have absolutely bullied the other Reinhardt, stopped him earth shattering, just completely shut him down, which would have gave your team more of a chance of winning the game. Instead, you've played a little bit ropey and you've sort of had to rely on your team because the fact you died there earlier on and again in earlier pushes means that you have to rely on your team, and your soldier is doing quite a lot of work. So without him, and also the Genji played quite well as well, would have been a bit difficult, but you're playing okay. Like, this isn't a total disaster show. This is actually much better than I thought it would be. I was expecting this to just be a crazy, like, I'm just going to go deep all the time, 24/7. Madman Reinhardt just going in, swinging the hammer, doing loads of damage, but you're not. You actually are playing quite defensive and then playing quite offensive, but I think it's just a balance that we've got to work out. Like, you can't just go in all of the time, and this is always an issue with Reinhardt players. I cannot tell you when the best time is to attack. I can in this video, but you kind of have to apply those principles to when you play in the game. Like, I'll make loads of wrong decisions when I play Reinhardt. I'll leave my barrier up when I should be charging, blah, 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 blah. You can actually get to the point quicker if you go out the left-hand side as well and charge through the subway than go in the right-hand side. Just a little tip there. Okay, so what we're going to be looking for here is your defensive position. If you defend in the choke here, this is a bad place to stand because they can just do loads of damage. In fact, they can shoot you from the spawn, which is pretty bad. You don't want that. You generally want to be beside the hotel, but you might go into that position anyway, so this might be pointless advice. What I would say about your soldier player is I wouldn't stand out in the open and show them what you've got. Like, let's see if anyone goes to the top window. Yeah, somebody just went to the top window. So usually, somebody will go up here. That's normally a Widow, right? It could be anybody, but they're just looking to see what's going on. Could be a Hanzo or whatever. They want to see what your team comp is. But the fact that your soldier was standing in front of you gives that away. But that's not really a problem with your play. And at the end of the day, it's a soldier. It's probably expected to be in the game. And a Zarya, like, and a Reinhardt's not, you know, you showed them you've got a Reinhardt. Whoopee, Reinhardt's in every single game. It doesn't really matter. But please don't stand here. This would be a criminal position to defend from. You can fire strike, but wait. Fire strike around the bus. That's going to hit the bus. Yeah, so, and you've been shot by Widowmaker. So remember, every time you take damage, you give them ultimate charge. You're giving her ulti charge by taking damage. Put your barrier up. Oh no, this is gonna trigger me. This is really gonna trigger me. Remember what I just said about defending in this position? It lets them damage you from the spawn. They've got a Widowmaker. She's firing at you from the spawn. She literally cannot be hurt, and you're backing off into the worst position. Oh no, don't do this. starting to defend here is critically bad, and then moving into this position is even worse, because what you're doing is you're saying, hey, why don't you just go this way into the point that we're not defending, or why don't you just charge us, because no, you should be over here. I'll show you if you actually go back into that position. I hope you do, but yeah, this is a bad position, because look how much damage you've taken on the shield. This is not good. Their barrier's looking kind of damaged as well. I would wager yours is more damaged though, because you're getting shot by Widow. And something horrifically bad just happened. Widow just killed your Ana, who was standing right behind you with your barrier, but you dropped it to use Fire Strike. You never told her you were going to do this, so Widow waited and just killed your Ana. You cannot afford to do that. You need to be back behind the hotel defending. This is such a bad position. And remember, like, you're Reinhardt, so the team will stay with you. Reaper smashing your brains in. Oh, that was bad. That was really, really bad defense. When you move back to the point, though, I'll show you where you should be standing. I mean, look, what's this Genji doing? He's standing still and firing and he's killed you. That is so bad. Like, you should not have been in that position. But like, this is Reinhardt, right? A lot of Reinhardt is, well, almost all of Reinhardt, to be honest, it's positional play. Be in the right position. Do the right things at the right time. It's less forgiving than a lot of other heroes, to be honest. Because you're in a bad position, it's going to cost your team bad. So, you're moving on to the point. You see where you are here, right? This is a way better defensive position than standing in front of the choke. That's bad. You should be a bit further forward, though, towards the statue. But what this does is it stops a Widow shooting you from the spawn, which you don't want. This is good. You're playing defense. You've got a Lucio behind you. Nobody cares. You've got a Genji behind you now. You don't have anybody else in front of you. I'd turn around and start smashing Genji. Genji's off. Right, did you just hear the shot of the Widow? Widow is in front of you now. You cannot afford to drop your barrier at all. Right, it needs to stay up all of the time. Because Widow will kill your Ana, and then that is bad. This is not a bad charge. I can't see the Widow, but I would still be worried of the Widow. Wherever the hell she is. She might be off to the left. I'm not sure. This charge, though, looks like it's going to miss. This is a really, really, really good position to charge the Reinhardt. Because if you're standing sort of about here, right, let's imagine, like, obviously you are where you are now, but if you were standing here, that would be sort of the standard defensive position. You can charge straight across into this statue and pin the Reinhardt. This is kind of what you're trying to do here, but like maybe not as sort of fluid. But I don't think you're going to hit him. If you hit him, though, it would have been good. I think this is just the fact that he's moved out of the way. Yeah, so you've knocked him out of the way. But if you pinned him there, that would have been a good charge. Good charge. Always use that statue to charge against. Look what's happened, though. Widow has killed Ana again because you're not protecting Ana. Remember, Widow can't shoot through your barrier, so you've got to try and keep that up as much as possible. There she is. There's Widow right in front of you. Get your barrier up. No. You can't kill Widow with a Fire Strike. You should have your barrier up. Remember, every time you don't have your barrier up, it's giving her ultimate charge. Turn around, yeah. Barrier. See, you should always be doing something with Reinhardt. You were doing nothing there, and you're going to Fire Strike the wall. If you're not doing anything with Reinhardt, just bring your barrier up, right? At least that's going to give some protection. Okay, we walked over the Widow mine. That's kind of okay. Somebody else should have killed that. You need to keep your barrier up. But you've gone back into that position again, which is the worst. Like, you should not be there. That's where you should be. Where Zarya is standing right now, this is where you should be defending from. Putting your barrier up here and wanting them to come through this way. If they don't and they go around the statue, then all you do is move your barrier sort of over here behind the statue. Oh, no, this position is killing me. See, you're a good Reinhardt, but it's just positioning, which is a problem here. This is a charge back to the point. This is cool. You need to get back and start swinging the hammer. Barrier. Okay. Do you stand on the Widow mine again? Move forward. See, like, this is a situation that you were just in, but you were doing nothing. Like, you were just standing around and you Fire Strike the wall. Now you've got your barrier up, and it's actually protecting your team from that Widow. Although she did get a good shot there. Or did she? No, I think Genji killed your... Yeah, Widow didn't get a kill. It's a difficult one, this is, without voice comms. Like, this seems really alien to me to watch this because you're Reinhardt. You have to tell the team what is happening. Like, that Widow is in front there. Your barrier is going down. I'm going to drop my barrier to Fire Strike. I mean, why have you dropped your barrier? Leave it up. You've got to leave your barrier up while there's a Widow. Like, it is a criminal offense to drop your barrier when there is a Widow, and to randomly Fire Strike like that as well is also a criminal offense because she just shot you again. But she could have killed somebody behind you. See, this is bad positioning. I know that I'm moaning about positioning in this video, but I've played loads of Reinhardt, and it is all about positioning. You should be here. right? You should be putting your barrier up here. What that does is it makes it harder for Widow to get you because she's sort of standing there, sniping away, and she's firing into here. But because you're standing here, what you're saying is, hey, shoot me, everybody shoot me. And you're not giving your guys behind you much of a chance to, well, work with your barrier because you're sort of pushing them into the corner. Let's see what happens. That's a random grav. Somebody's in the grav, actually? Whoa! You're going to charge the grav? Okay, so this is a... What's happened here? You've seen the grav, and I know what this is about. It's a very tempting target, right? If there's somebody in it, you can easily charge them. Charging that target there isn't too bad. But remember, there's a Reinhardt to your left. By charging that, it lets him potentially countercharge you. He probably won't at this level, but a better Reinhardt would have just moved and charged you. As soon as you go charging off, he's just going to countercharge you back. So what I mean is, he'll wait for you to hit a target, then charge you into the wall and kill you. It's such an easy way to kill Reinhardts, especially when they do long-range charges. It's like such a tell. It's like, yeah, I'm going to charge, off I go, and it's like, oh, I'm just going to wait for you to hit the wall and then turn around and kill you. Or I'm just going to follow you in and smash your brains in. But you have killed the Mercy, so that's okay. Barrier's not up. Barrier should be up. Oh, no. Right, so you've paid the... Oh, no, this is it. Right. Out comes the whiteboard. You have 0 HP, but you have a 2,000 HP barrier field, which isn't up. And if you pressed right mouse button there, you would not have died. Instead, she shot you, and then she shot you again, and then you died. That is criminal. That is absolutely criminal. Like, with you being dead now, this is bad. This is, like, really, really bad. All that good work you just did, killing the Mercy, it's just a waste of time because now you're dead. This is not great. This is really not great. This is... Uh-oh. See, so you'll get to see it again, right? 1 shot, 2 shot. You had like 2 seconds there to bring your barrier up. Naughty boy, Paul, you naughty boy. So you would get back to the point quicker if you went out left and charged through the subway and hug the wall because you can come out in front of the bookshop. This is a slower way to get back to the point. Especially right now, there's a minute left. You've got to get back to the point quick. But you've got Earth Shatter again. Your team are doing work, which is great. Barrier up. All you've literally got to do now is just walk forward with your barrier. You don't have to do anything here. Walk forward. Okay, there's a Reaper. This is not great positioning. I don't like this. Remember what I just said. You should be standing over here a bit more. Not out in the open where you are here, because this just lets them do free damage to you. And you don't want that because you need to keep your barrier up. And like that gives you a... It sort of forces them to come around the corner a little bit more. Your soldier's doing a lot of work again. That fire strike got reflected back to you, then you took another fire strike. You didn't need to fire strike then because you've got your ultimate, really. Unless you were looking to secure a kill, which you're not really going to secure a kill like that because it's not a big fight that's broken out. It's like pointless, right? Like a pointless fire strike. That's another one. That's just going to give Zarya a charge if she decides to bubble. Their Reinhardt just said barrier destroyed, though. So what you could do now, because you're feeling ballsy, and I know that you like to go forward and tell me you're about to do this, you could rush forward and Earth Shatter them. He has no barrier. You are going forward, so maybe this is the dream. Okay, his barrier's back. Got a Winston. Just charge back onto the point. You could have charged... I would have charged back into the point there to hit him, then turned around with my shield. Right, what we've got happening here, right, is Winston is dead. You've actually played, like, you kind of... Yeah, you've played that safe. That's okay. Winston dived into your team, and it's not going to go too well for him. Maybe he could kill somebody, but with everybody else attacking him, it was odds on he was going to die. Now you've got Earth Shatter. There's 22 seconds left. You can Earth Shatter those two there if you wanted to right now. Don't think that's the best decision just yet. I'd probably wait. Their Reinhardt's coming back. Is he charging? Genji's ulting. Alright, so before I click play on this, what I would look to do at this point in time is get a big Earth Shatter off. However, there is one target that absolutely needs to be Earth Shattered, and that is Genji, right? He is just about to use his ultimate. That means, well, it means that we could have a really bad time because he could kill the entire team, especially at this level. Because it's going to be very hard for, like, the rest of your team to just kill him with, you know, firing at him because he's moving pretty quick. I think that Reinhardt... No. Oh, hello. This has worked out quite well. So what's happened here is, yeah, you have not planned for this. I know this. You can lie to me and say that you have, but you haven't. Their Reinhardt came round the corner. Look at him. He's just come round the corner and he's starting to panic charge. If this Reinhardt had kept his barrier up and walked forward, your Earth Shatter, which you're about to use, would do nothing. But because he's charging, this is going to get Lucio. It's going. This could be quite a good one. Oh, yes, this could be quite a good one. Okay, so you've killed their Reinhardt. You've fire struck through. You've charged. You've charged and you've got the ulting Genji. This is luck, right? Oh, I don't want to rain on your parade and say, oh, this was an awesome play, but you know, you meant to do that. You didn't. You've earth shattered there, and their Reinhardt, through being a bad Reinhardt, is charging towards you, which is not great. He should have had his barrier up to stop you from doing that. And then you've managed to somehow charge the ulting Genji, which is beautiful, but also very lucky at the same time. Yeah, spray. He'll probably be playing the game. So you just put your barrier up. Remember, if you're not doing anything, put your barrier up, man. It's cool. Barrier. Oh, we got a D.Va on point. We did have a D.Va on point. Ooh. So they're actually making a comeback. This is interesting. So there's 4 of them on the point here. This is looking pretty bad. This is brawl mode, right? What you do here is you just swing. Just go crazy, right? It's a mess. Just swing. But maybe you would have known that he had his Earth Shatter available, and you probably should have done. Me saying go crazy there and just keep swinging probably was the bad advice there, because I should have known he had his Earth Shatter. I would have done if I was playing the game. We just got so carried away doing the overanalyzed. Why do we know he's got his Earth Shatter? Well, we know because we've used ours and he hasn't used his, and it's odds on he's got it because he's not used it for this entire attack, so he must have it. So you've always got to be aware of that. Remember, you can block an ultimate ability from your counterpart with your standard ability. You bring the barrier up and it stops the Earth Shatter. It is such a win when that happens, because now he's killed one of your guys and Earth Shattered all of your team apart from Lucio. And now Winston's back. You YOLO charge in, which is the right thing to do now, right? There's no danger from Earth Shatter or anything because we've just been hit by it. You get Lucio, that's lucky. You start swinging. Kill the Mercy. Go after the Mercy. Their Reinhardt's charged in. He's about to die. He's got no health. Just keep swinging. Like, this is just swing. Oh, that's juicy. Swing. Zarya makes up for all of her terrible gravitons with a beautiful one. You charge. Yeah, this is just a brawl. Just go in. Charge, smash, turn around and ult them. You could turn around and ult them. You spent too much time fixating on D.Va there. Baby D.Va, like D.Va when she's smashed, she takes a few seconds to eject out of the mech, and Baby D.Va's not going to kill Reinhardt. You should have smashed her into the wall, turned around, and Earth Shattered all this behind you. Because now you've got a Winston and a Reinhardt, and they got a Genji? There, they've got a... Ooh, this is iffy. So they've got a Winston, they've got a Reinhardt, they've got a Genji, and there's a Baby D.Va behind you, I think. No, you killed her, sorry. So you killed the Baby D.Va. Now, you could actually get a nice Earth Shatter off it if he drops his barrier. You could Earth Shatter there. That would get him, but he's probably going to turn. Yeah, I think... Okay, so I think what you did is you noticed that he turned, and you went to Earth Shatter him, and he's just turned now. And you've killed somebody with the Earth Shatter, but the rest of your team have come back. All right, that's okay. Right, that's okay. Because it looks like you've got this now. Kill the Genji. Beautiful. And Faith talks again. Faith should talk more. Yeah, Faith's in a group with you. You should talk. Paul, you should talk, man. You're Reinhardt, baby. You should be going, yes. Let's go. Oh, okay. Let's see what play of the game is, because it must be that Earth Shatter. It's got to be. Oh, it might be Soldier's Tac Visor, actually. Boo, if it's Tac Visor. All he did was press Q. Oh, yes. Oh, that is so juicy. But it should never have happened. This, that is just ridiculous. Okay, alright, sweet. Okay, let's pause it and let's talk about what we've just seen. And let's talk about the main points I think you need to work on, Paul, as a Reinhardt. Positioning is key, right? I showed you where to sort of stand on King's Road defense there on first point, and how to use the payload more as a barrier instead of standing in front of it when you're attacking as well. You should be looking to use your Earth Shatter a little bit more, because you had it for a very long time on the attack. You could have used it in quite a few times, to be honest. Try and work with your Zarya as well. Ask her for bubbles, because if she bubbles you and you charge in, you'll take a lot of damage. She'll get a lot of charge. You won't take damage as such, because the barrier will absorb 200 damage, and then you can do damage as well. Try and be in front of your team a bit more as well. Don't walk behind them with the barrier up, because you're not really protecting anything. Get up with them and put the barrier. Remember that the barrier is like this big scoop. Like when you're walking forward with it, your team will sort of follow you. So on the attack on King's Row there, instead of standing in the choke and letting them just do damage to you, which is bad, you should either walk towards them or walk around the statue. At least do something. Like always, you want to get into their face with Reinhardt. The faster you get into their face, put the barrier down, the more they've got to think about. The other thing is communication. There was none. You've got to work on this, because you can get to a certain point in the game without using communication. But when you're playing somebody like Reinhardt, who has to communicate to play properly, if you're not talking to your team, you're not telling them what HP your barrier is at, which I said you should be doing like when it's at 1,000, when it's 500, and when it's about to break, and when you're about to drop it, your team are not going to know. Also, if you're playing against the Widow, you really need to keep your barrier up as much as possible, because if you don't, she will kill your Ana, like as happened on the defense, and you were kind of lucky to hold that. The fact that the team didn't push through there is probably because they're, you know, lower players on the whole, but they still could have killed you there. They got picks and they could move in. At the higher levels, if you get a pick like that on King's Row with the Widow, kill somebody, your entire team will just dive in and kill the other team because it's a 5v6. You've got the advantage. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it at that, Paul, because you actually are a pretty good Reinhardt. You're not crazy. You don't run in and just wildly swing like a madman. There is times when you know to attack and times when you know to play defensively. I think it can be worked on a little bit. Also, just one last thing on charging. Always counter-charge the enemy Reinhardt. What I mean by that is when you see him charging towards you, you charge into him so you both fall down. The other type of counter-charge is when you see a long-range Reinhardt charge come in and it lands somewhere, you follow the sort of trajectory of the Reinhardt and then you charge into him and kill him. Almost all of the time, that will result in you killing their Reinhardt, which is a massive win. Because remember, Reinhardt is all about you versus the other Reinhardt. If you play better than him, your team will win. Alright guys, I've been Silo, so this is Unit Lost. If you want to send any clips into Overanalyzed, follow the instructions on the screen right now, and I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo. The sort of trajectory. Paul, you should talk, man. Key, right? I showed you where to sort towards them or walk around with the Widow, kills the time on the attack. You could have used it in quite a few times, to be honest. Try and work with your Zarya as well. Ask her for bubbles, because if she bubbles you and you charge in, you'll take a lot of damage. She'll get the advantage. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it at that, Paul, because you actually are a pretty good Reinhardt. You're not crazy. You don't run in and just wildly swing like a madman. There is times when you know to attack and times when you know to play defensively. I think it can be worked on a little bit. Also, just one last thing on charging. Always counter-charge the enemy Reinhardt. What I mean by that is when you see him charging towards you, you charge into him so you both fall down. The other type of counter-charge is when you see a long-range Reinhardt charge come in and it lands somewhere, you follow the sort of trajectory of the Reinhardt and then you charge into him and kill him. Almost all of the time, that will result in you killing their Reinhardt, which is a massive win. Because remember, Reinhardt is... Can somebody kill the Pharah, please? Come on, Soldier, what are you doing? Come on, Soldier, kill the Pharah. Oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. Soldier, we need to kill the Pharah. What are you doing, Soldier? Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I'm Stylosa. And have you ever done that to your poor Soldier player? What I'm going to talk about in this video is how to counter Pharah. But the very first thing we've got to realise is Pharah is not this delicate flower floating about in the sky. She's an absolute killing machine. If she gets on top of you, and she hits you twice, you are pretty much dead. We are talking 120 damage per direct rocket hit. That's 2 hits to Soldier and he is dead. So how the hell do you deal with this? Well, what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you all of the clips that I've... Like, this is where I came across Pharah in my leveling up of the Steak Bake account on its way to Grandmaster. And you'll notice that throughout these clips, there's a lot of times where I'm trying to deal with Pharah. I prioritize it because, yes, you can say I am kind of the counter to Pharah. I mean, look at that there. I just did damage to her, but it's not a lot of damage. She did more damage back to me there, and then she gets away. Soldier is not the best direct counter to Pharah, right? He is in certain situations, and that's what people have got to remember. It is not as cut and dry as... I mean, look at this, right? That Pharah's at range there. I've been hit by another attack there, but Pharah knows I'm in here. She's starting to shell the building. I'm doing damage to her, but Soldier's got extreme damage fall off at range. Look at that. I hit pretty much all of those shots onto her there, which is difficult to do, right? Yet, she still did damage to me. She managed to get away. It's like, what is going on? You cannot just pick Soldier and that instantly counters the Pharah player. You have to play as a team. There are situations where Soldier will absolutely decimate Pharah, and that is if Pharah gets within his range. So if Pharah gets to medium range to you and she's not directly firing at you, Soldier should be able to kill her. But this is the thing, right? It requires quite a lot of hit scan accuracy. It requires you aiming at Pharah and deliberately trying to take her down. Like in this example here, right? I get the jump on Pharah. You see she's got half health. She's within my range there. The damage is amazing off Soldier at that range. She's dead. They were headshots. She wouldn't have survived anyway, even if those were body shots. But that only happens in some situations. positions. Now we're going to look at the next clip here. And in this clip, she's going to sort of come over the top. I'm going to get the jump on her again, in a sense. Like, she's not going to realize where I am because I'm sort of going to hide here, sort of under this veranda above my head. And then she's coming across, over she comes on the top. I can hear her. It's like, where the hell is she? There she is. So I start firing. Look how fast you kill her. So Soldier will kill her extremely fast. Thing is, look at this clip here. She doesn't have damage fall off. She can keep piling damage into you at range. So I'm going to try and prioritize her here, trying to do damage. It's made even worse here because she's got Zen's orb on her head. This is ridiculous. It's just going to keep healing her. What are we going to do? Well, behind me, there's Anna. If me and Anna attack her, she will die. See that? I did a bit of damage to her. Anna tagged her. She's dead. So it is easy to deal with Pharah if you deal with her as a team. It is not just Soldier's job to kill Pharah because Pharah is extremely deadly. And what is happening is, around the, I think, the Platinum to Diamond tier, Pharah is the hero you have to be able to deal with to get any further in the game. There's a lot of people who are stuck around about high platinum trying to get into diamond, but they come across a Pharah player, maybe a pharmacy combo, so you got Pharah and Mercy, which is made even worse because that means Pharah's going to do more damage, and then she's going to heal super quick when she takes damage anyway because Mercy's following around. How do you deal with that? It is not just get a soldier. You might just get a soldier, but that soldier might not have the accuracy to land enough consistent shots on the Pharah to kill her. Like in this clip, you'll see Pharah comes over the side. A very typical place Pharah likes to come on Volskaya attack. I've shot her. You watch me do damage to there. It's practically nothing. The range is too extreme for me to deal with. Yet the team is getting flustered. Everyone's all over the place. I'm trying to get into a position so I can still fire at this Pharah. But that Pharah, just by its sheer presence alone, has caused so much confusion in our team. We don't know what to do. And this is like I'm Grandmaster at this point. See, there's the Pharah. I'm trying to kill her, but she's away and it's very difficult. So at the lower levels, teams tend to tilt really quick because they see a Pharah. They may have a soldier, but like, look at this. Like, I tried to damage her there. I can't do nothing to it. I'm going to get mobbed by the team and I'm going to get killed. This is another great example of what happens when Pharah gets you. She kills you, right? She can kill soldier. Like, I nano boosted ult there. That's great. What's this? I'm taking damage. Oh, that's right, because Pharah's on top of me. 2 hits and you're dead. Pharah has a major advantage in 1v1 against Soldier when she gets on top of you, right? And she's firing at you. There's nothing you can really do about it. You can try and kill her, but she only needs 2 clicks of the mouse and you're dead. Remember, she's got splash damage as well. She doesn't need 2 direct hits because you've only got 200 health. If it's 120 per hit, well, that's 240 if there's 2 direct hits. So, you know, it's a lot of damage. Again, here's another example of me flanking around. I see the Pharah player. It's my priority. Look at the damage I poured into her. She still isn't dead, though. She's going to get healed up by her team, and then she's going to come back after me, and it's going to be difficult for me to deal with it. In fact, I'm not going to be able to deal with it. I'm going to have to retreat. So Pharah's fully healed. She knows I'm there. She's firing rockets in. Look at that direct hit. 120 damage. Smashed me, and I've had to back off into a position where I can think maybe I'm safe and I can keep working on the Pharah. Again, like, you can see throughout this entire fight, she is my primary target. Look how much damage I've done to her. But what happens? I die to Pharah because on this map, Pharah is actually pretty strong. But if Pharah gets close to you and she's firing at you, most of the time, you will die. Like, look at this. Close range battle. You've got no chance. Pharah is going to absolutely slaughter you there. This is what I want people to do. See the Pharah? Okay, the Pharah was on its own, its whole team was dead. But notice what was going on. Everybody was firing at the Pharah. This is how you counter her. This is the secret. You just fire at her, right? Everybody must fire at the Pharah to get rid of it. If you've got a ranged attack and you see Pharah and there's not any other target that you need to deal with, you should be firing at her. If you're playing Anna, it's very easy for you to snipe her and you can do a considerable amount of damage to her as well. Soldier obviously will fire at her. McCree should be firing at her. Zenyatta should be firing at her and applying his Discord orb. The thing with a Pharah player is, if you know there's a Pharah on the enemy team, so you'll know this straight away when the game starts, Pharah starts shelling away and whatever, maybe it rips through your entire defense because your hit scan players are not accurate enough to deal with a Pharah player. And it only needs like an adequate Pharah player to be a major problem for a really good hit scan player, because all the Pharah needs to do is stay at range. Like, you can see the Pharah in this clip. It's always at range. I prioritized it, but look, I'm dead. Okay, it's did some damage to me. This is another example where the Pharah is right above. I don't realize it's there. 1 hit, 2 hits, dead. You cannot survive that damage. Even if you're Taimu or whoever the hell you are, you're never going to be able to aim and kill that Pharah so quick before it kills you. So what you've absolutely got to do is work as a team. So if your team gets rolled over by a Pharah, that's great. But think how to counter this. It's not that difficult, right? So if you've got a Soldier, an Anna, and a Zenyatta, that Pharah should be absolutely dead. For a start, Anna can snipe. Zen should put the Discord orb on. Even the Discord orb and just Soldier randomly firing at her from range should be enough to take out the Pharah. And once you get rid of the Pharah, you've done the job, right? The enemy team has to change. And you'll see in this clip as it goes on, and as I keep talking again, you can see me getting blasted by the Pharah player. As this clip goes on, I'm going to now talk about the mentality of dealing with the Pharah. But you'll notice we deal with the Pharah in such a way that it has to swap to a different hero. Once you've done that, that is exactly what you need to do, and that is just through keeping your head. And teams do not keep their head. I know I keep promoting my Overanalyze series. This is my coaching series where people send me in videos, which if you do want to send a video in, then email to overanalyzedow@gmail.com with your SR in the title, your heroes that you play, the map that you play on, and the very first link, the first line of the video should be a link to a YouTube upload of your video. Anyway, you can see that, like, I killed the Pharah really quick. But through that series, I get a lot of entries, and I watch them, and people will say things like, how do I deal with this Pharah? What's going on? And I'll look at the SR, and it'll be platinum. It might even be low diamond. And I'll watch the video, and there's a Pharah player just killing a soldier over and over again. And I watch the soldier, and the soldier's accuracy isn't the greatest. But it doesn't matter even if it was, because his entire team, more often than not, is going, soldier, deal with the Pharah, what are you doing? It's not just soldier's job. Everybody's got to realise this. You see here, right, I damaged the Pharah there, but it's away and it's been fully healed again. See, like, you can't do that much damage to it at range with soldier. You've got to try. You've got to put as much damage in as you can. You know, sometimes you will get lucky with headshots and you'll do quite a bit of damage, but it is very difficult to deal with a Pharah. The point of this video has been to say the counter of a Pharah is your entire team. A great hit scan player can deter a Pharah, and will. You know, with good accuracy, it's going to put a Pharah player off. Pharah players, though, they're quite clever. They use the terrain to their advantage. They hop around the side. They only peek. They fire a rocket in. They peek. They fire a rocket. 2 direct hits and you're dead. What you cannot do is go to that soldier on your team. You're playing terrible. Oh my god, why are you not killing the Pharah? Soldier, or even McCree, or any hit scan, is not a direct counter to Pharah. Pharah is a very unique character, and I'm 100% sure that she is the reason why a lot of people are getting stuck in high platinum, and even like in the other tiers as well, because Pharah she's kind of like the Bastion of the lower tiers. So in like bronze and I guess silver, Bastion's very strong, but as you go up through the tiers you start seeing different heroes that become strong. Pharah, she's kind of like the new Genji. She's very hard to deal with, but she can put a lot of damage into your team. And often people who think classes that you think would be a direct counter to her, she's also a counter to them. It just depends on the situation and how she manages to jump on top of you. Like McCree, yeah, maybe he could kill her at close range, but not if she fires 2 rockets into him. He's dead. And she's going to do this because Pharah players are like that. So ladies and gentlemen, the way you deal with Pharah is you keep firing at her. You try and discord her if you've got Zen, but please, everybody should fire at Pharah, because she is quite easy to take down when you've got concentrated fire, and it can be quite easy to get her to swap onto a different hero. In this game you're seeing in the background, she swapped onto a Tracer, was hardly as effective. There you go, dead. And I give a bit of teabagging. But that's my friend, that's Valkyrie, that's why. It's a bit of friendly banter. But that's how it is. You deal with the Pharah, and often you will win the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa, this is Unit Lost, and this is how to deal or counter with a Pharah. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.
You can stay in the sky all you want. It's always a valid strategy to just try to ignore as much of the pharmacy combo as possible and just to win everything else out, because it doesn't matter how good your pharmacy is, they're not going to go 2v5, 2v6.
What's going on, everybody? It's Frito here for your Overwatch. That entry clip was actually from the caster Hexagrams, who casts on the Curse Twitch channel for the Overwatch Monthly Melee, which just concluded a few days ago for the April event. And I thought it was interesting that the way Hex explained countering Pharah, or at least one possible strategy to do so, was almost word for word what I said in a video a couple weeks ago. Now, I highlight this not to just beat you guys over the head with the idea, but a lot of people in the comment section responded very sharply as if I had said the sky was green. Ignore the Pharah? Frito, are you crazy? That's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Now, I respect Hexagrams is probably one of the best analytical minds about the game of Overwatch, so trust me, he knows his stuff, so if we align on this, I think we're probably onto something. And let me explain why as we break down some footage between Selfless and Denial, which played at that Alienware Monthly Melee. I think there's one thing I want to change about our phraseology when we say ignore the Pharah, because I think to competitive players who have played other competitive games at somewhat of a hardcore level, whether you're at a good rank in CSGO or whatever, when you say ignore something, what it doesn't mean is allow the thing to shoot you in the face and do nothing about it. What it means is do something else. So instead of saying ignore the Pharah, my new advice is going to be avoid the Pharah. As he explains as well, there's ways to fight a team fight on your own terms while minimizing the impact that Pharah can have and quote-unquote ignoring her. Not to get blasted in the face by rockets, but so that you can actively focus different targets, because as soon as you quickly win the fight on the ground, she loses all of her support structure and can't as easily bob and weave through traffic, high ground, and leverage the fact that her team is in the way to wreck you. This is something that you see in matchmaking quite often. A lot of times, you'll see that teams just keep throwing more hit scans at the Pharah. Oh, the enemy team's got a Pharah. Well, you know what we need? Soldier, McCree, Widowmaker, all of them staring up at the sky at the same time. But what does that do? And I know you've seen this happen in your games. If that situation has presented itself, and you may not have noticed what happens, the enemy tanks just run into you. You're looking up in the sky, Pharah's avoiding you, once in a while hitting a rocket here or there, but as you're scoped up on Widow, trying to stare up at the sky or get an angle with her on Soldier, the enemy tanks can just kill you. So what this means is, it's on the responsibility of the entire team to counter the Pharah. Now let's show an example of how to avoid the Pharah. Ignoring her value and instead engaging on the ground. As this battle rages out on Oasis, Pharah finds few targets actually, and Defran tries to duel her out in the open, but gets bopped immediately. Those rockets just deal too much damage too quickly. If he doesn't find the shot in a very small fraction of a second, he's gonna die. But as we see the Pharah player fly around, the targets on the enemy team have made themselves scarce. They're fighting in areas where the Pharah can't easily get to. As the tank player in these situations, do you want to fight out in the open where the Pharah can shoot you as well? Or do you want to try to get the engagements into close range environments where the Pharah is far less effective? No matter what map you're playing, keep that in the back of your mind. A lot of times in Overwatch you have an opportunity to decide to either run or stand and fight. If you find yourself in an engagement you don't want, run the heck out of there. Avoid that fight. Instead, run to daylight to the nice, comforting, safe places where your engagements will be more favored for you. The most interesting thing I find about the fight that we're looking at is that the Pharah player plays as perfect as you could imagine her to. Eliminates the hit scan quickly and just keeps hitting rocket after rocket. But because the majority of the focus fire fight is happening at the extremities of the map, the enemy Roadhog and Tracer are able to clean up frags faster than Pharah can. Meaning that it doesn't matter that her supposed win condition of killing the enemy hit scans was satisfied. Which also leads to another crazy concept that you may never even have thought of, is that there's ways to counter Pharah by not even having a hit scan. Because Defran got 0 value on his hit scan here until the end of the fight when a lot of other things were dead and he does eventually kill Pharah. But the fight was more or less won without him, and then he comes back and then does kill the Pharah, but I don't think he was crucial in tipping that scale that direction. So that's why sometimes you'll see pro teams that run multi-flanker and no hit scan and still somehow deal with the Pharah, quote unquote, as long as they do their own individual jobs well enough, fast enough, so that Pharah can't really compete with the speed that they're fragging out on. If I told you at the start of this battle that Pharah was going to kill Soldier and nothing else really can shoot at the pharmacy except for the Ana player, you probably would guess that the Pharah's team would just win. On paper, you'd be right. But what the team of Selfless does well is instead of panicking against the Pharah, they simply go engage the rest of her team on the ground efficiently while trying to avoid her. Now I want to speak a little bit about this interesting tank lineup that Selfless ended up going with. Because traditionally speaking, in most pro games, playing without a Winston or a Reinhardt is a death sentence. Pros consider those two main tanks, and only a few other times have I ever seen D.Va or maybe a Zarya as the sole tank. Neither of which worked very well. Both Envious and Misfits have tried it, and both of them lost the game where they used it in, and if it's been used elsewhere, I haven't seen it. But it's interesting to note how this ends up working out for Selfless. Because the enemy isn't running a Reinhardt, which maybe this is something Denial might end up changing, they don't really have a sustained way to block out Emong's hooks on Roadhog. Because they're running 2 dive tanks, and for some reason a lot of people in the community think that D.Va counters Roadhog, and I think Defense Matrix does, but her face definitely doesn't. She's a big target, and whether you're hooking in a D.Va or a Winston as Roadhog, I think you're feeling pretty good about yourself with the value that you can get. I think if you're trying to counter the Roadhog, a Reinhardt would be a better pick, but it's tough, as when you're running a Pharmacy and likely another flanker hero, Reinhardt doesn't have a whole lot to protect. Meaning that no matter what, this Roadhog is going to get some good value. Keep that in mind as well. Roadhog is much better against Pharmacy than you might think. The 3 best tanks at dealing with Pharah are Roadhog, D.Va, and Winston. Winston can jump up to her level and harass her and her Mercy. Also, the bubble he puts down is 3-dimensional, meaning that Pharah is going to have to step inside the jungle in order to deal any damage while the bubble's up. Reinhardt's shield has much more trouble trying to get it at the right angle to block any damage. And also, of course, if Pharah gets the right angle, she can boop him way out of the play. D.Va can absorb rockets, and just like Winston, fly up to her level and harass her and her Mercy. But Roadhog is interesting because he can establish a zone of death around his hook radius. Wherever the Roadhog positions himself, the Pharah is going to struggle to get in close on them. And the way you make that valuable is being very efficient with your Roadhog hooks. Roadhog's more punishing nowadays because he has an 8-second hook cooldown, but if you don't whiff those hooks, and you're landing them on anything, whether it's the enemy heroes on the low ground or the few times where the Pharah or Mercy dares gets too close to you, you're gonna have a good time. Pharah isn't very efficient at killing Roadhog. She'd much rather be shooting at a squishy target that she can delete. Now, the genius thing about this composition that doesn't have a Reinhardt or a Winston is that it's specifically tuned to counter the enemy team comp. Normally, you're gonna get punished severely for not having a main shielding tank. But since the enemy DPS threats are flanky in nature, it's much better to have D.Va handle the majority of damage denial than have Kresnik be on Reinhardt, where he's more or less just a pinata for the enemy team to whack whenever they want as they just swarm around him. It's not like he can really set up his shield to engage properly against the flanker heroes. And I would consider Pharah to some degree a flanker hero as well. She's in some gradient of the flanker spectrum. So the D.Va kind of has a big responsibility in the shielding department, but it makes sense because it's not like you're playing up against characters that can punish you for not having a Reinhardt shield. Like if there's Soldier out in the distance, you might want to establish an engagement initiation with your own Rein shield so that he doesn't just get free damage on whatever he wants. But flanker heroes are built to have their kits balanced to be more bursty in nature in order to wash out with the fact that they have more mobility options. So with that being the case, why not have your tanking be mobile in nature as well? Defense matrix can be pointed in whatever direction you want, whereas poor old Reinhardt, who is sluggish and slow, sorry Grandpa, he can't really compete. Now, I think in this specific game, Emong's Roadhog pick works well because the enemy doesn't have a Reinhardt. If they do, I would prefer a D.Va Winston here, or if the enemy had a Zarya that were bubbling most of his hooks, either way, I'd like to get more sustainable tanking utility from that tank slot. But until that's getting countered, let the Roadhog eat the enemy team alive. Why not? What Selfless essentially does here is create a more devastating threat than the enemy team can provide. Sure, Pharah can take all these sorts of fancy duels, but how are you going to stop Emong and Roadhog? That's the question. I also love when I say something like that, and then the character that I'm praising dies on screen immediately. You guys in the comments love to point out when that happens accidentally. But the point of that is, Emong has been such a terror for this enemy team. He's a focus fire priority. And that can't be the case because Soldier already is. When your team comp starts to make that type of multiple threat problem where they spend too many resources to take out what they think is the win condition, then you still got another ace up your sleeve. That's when you look really good. Which ironically, and this is all coming full circle, is normally what Pharah does to teams. Teams get it stuck in their head that you have to deal with the Pharah, not avoid her, and then you overcompensate to put too many resources to diverting your attention towards her, then the rest of her team is actually beating you, or you mistakenly walk right into her trap, and the thing you are most afraid of punches you in the face anyway. All things considered, it takes the entire team comp and every player in their position to be actively thinking about countering the Pharah in their positioning, in their hero selection, or else, yes, she may run rampant through your team. And a lot of players in the comment section say, well, it's not fair for 6 players to have to try to counter 1 player, but the same thing would go if the enemy team had a sick Widowmaker. If they have a sick Widowmaker, that means that they have some long lines of sight, and it means there are literally spots on the map where you should never show your head, or you could potentially get picked off and be losing the game for your team. Same thing works for Pharah. She's an aerial threat that causes a fight to happen immediately. And the way you counter that isn't by just standing around looking at your hit scans hoping that they hit some sort of godly shot in her head as she flies through the sky. but instead it's the responsibility of everyone on the team to counter that playstyle by engaging properly, which at many levels of matchmaking is a bit of a mythical notion. You get a lot of teams that stand at the choke and sort of wait for things to happen, slowly build their ults, and in the last 10 seconds say, oh, we gotta do something, guys, do stuff. And then everyone attacks, and then you take the objective because you finally attacked, and you wonder, whoa, I'm surprised that went so well. Yes, engagements, guys. It's something that every level of player can do, because it doesn't take mechanical skill to do well. All you need is the ability to perceive where your team is or the enemy team is and what a good engagement looks like, then press W and go attack that opportunity. And a lot of times, I'm looking at you tanks and Lucios out there to be calling what these good engagements are. If you're standing around as a Reinhardt getting shelled by a Pharah, you need to be telling your team, we have to avoid this free damage she's getting on us, and instead find engagements on her teammates. Because especially if they have a pharmacy in the air, that means they don't have an extra healer on the ground. You get in on quick on either their healer or their other DPS on the ground, you can quickly be finding yourself a good advantage even though that the Pharah has aerial control. And the interesting thing about this Selfless versus Denial series, at the onset, Denial has been destroying teams all the way through the loser's bracket with this pharmacy combo. No team has been able to stop it, other than Rogue, which doesn't count, by the way. They won the entire tournament and they're the best team in NA right now. But every other team they faced, they just destroyed up until they got to Selfless in the loser's bracket final. But Selfless didn't have the answer right away either. Here on Hollywood, they struggled against the pharmacy. They tried to go triple tank against it with just Soldier. Well, guess what? Pharah can pick out Soldier like nobody's business. Any target Pharah wants to duel, she can duel because she has a jetpack. She can get to whatever battle she wants. The purpose of playing tanky heroes is to create an engagement barrier, more or less, between...
What fucking time is it? Now!
bank. It will bring sweet victory. On the darkest of days. But like the best seasons, it will bring us all together. Brace yourself. This is about to get interesting.
Rated E to M. The most anticipated games of the season have arrived. Available now from PlayStation Store.
PlayStation.
Man, that was great. Whoa, look at that aim. Man, McCree was much easier, even though my aim is garbo. All I need to do is like click on them and I actually deal damage. Whereas with Zarya I don't deal damage. Okay, let's not get headshotted by Hanzo. Always a good strat.
Gold Rush premieres Friday, October 12th at 9 on Discovery and Discovery Go.
Just forget it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about that guy. He had a trauma.
Be advised, further collapse expected. Relocate to safe zone.
Can you give me a second, please?
Yeah, I'm just browsing.
Listen, man. I'm not the type of guy to say shit like that, but you should probably go ask your mom for a credit card already, because we're about to win this fucking game.
Oof.
Okay, do you need
level
attachments?
1 armor. Level 1 armor in the bathroom.
Do you need attachments? No?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Just look at it.
I don't.
In which bathroom? Here?
Yeah. In this one right here. Right here.
I'm gonna get the RC car. The RC car is actually gonna make the difference between winning and losing it. Trust me on that. RC car Pogu. Thanks to the armor.
Can we leave now?
Yeah, let's get the fuck out. Let's swim across.
I'm going straight across to 150.
They're trying to get bugged out? True.
Can I drown?
Yes, you can. Nobody across
that. Those stairs over there?
Yeah, we're going down, yeah. Above you, above you!
Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm so dead. I'm heading, but I'll probably
He's
die.
dead. He's dead. You're fine. I killed him.
Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety.
Okay, I'm going up the stairs.
He picked him up. He picked him up. I need help. I need help. I need help.
I'm watching. I'm watching.
Get out again?
He's low. He's very low in the tree.
Coming up.
They're pushing me. One on the tree again. Other one close to
Yo,
the...
what the fuck, man? Oh.
I really didn't want to swim through that water like that.
And all we're doing is pressing a button, and this thing is not wanting to work.
What do you want? You want us to leave you alone? Then tell us. Tell us. Wow.
That one right after the statement.
Yeah.
Right after the statement.
What are you afraid of? You afraid of us recognizing you? We're right here. We see
Said
you.
no.
Well, then perform for us.
No. You got me.
Wow. Well, what's stopping you? What's stopping you now? Come on. Don't be afraid. Are we pissing you off or something? Do you want us to piss you off? Well, then show us. Huh. Wow. Well, can you tell us, what do we want? What do you want? Well, no, what do you want? Well, there's a lot of no's in there.
Yep.
Well. Wow. Do you want to be in this house? Do you like being in this house? Do you want to be tossed out? Wow.
Let down.
Yep, well.
No matter what you do, it doesn't help.
What do we want? We want you to tell us what you want.
Oh?
What does that mean? Well, what does that mean? Ooh, what?
Totally different than before, Patty.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
What do you want?
Did I lie?
No,
Did
you
I
didn't
fucking lie?
No, you didn't lie. Well, I guess what we want is to know what do you want? What do you want?
You.
Well,
Said you.
Are you saying you? What if I don't want you to have me? Okay, this is on tape.
You fucking heard it.
It's on tape.
You fucking heard it.
It's on tape. Yeah, that thing is not right. Wow.
It was not saying you. It was saying what? It wasn't saying you.
Do?
Now it is saying you. when you asked it a question.
Yeah. Yeah. And just so you know,
What do you want?
yeah. Well, okay, whatever is in this little dummy, you need to like leave because we don't want you here.
No, don't go. You never went that far. You never went that far. Motherfucker!
You're gone. Yeah, you're gone. Gone.
Oh my god. Stefan unplugged it. I'm turning this off now.
Most YouTube creators post videos for entertainment, news, or lifestyle value. But now and then, psychotic mass murderers use the platform to rant about the injustices in the world and reveal the deep simmering hatred they have for their fellow human beings. The often bizarre and disturbing content of such videos, in hindsight, has all the clues of an unraveling mind and a realization that it was only a matter of time before they acted on their feelings. Here we look at 5 killers who uploaded disturbing videos to this platform in the years, months, and even hours before they committed mass murder. Elliot Rodger. Elliot Rodger was born in London. His father, Peter Rodger, was a successful director, and his mother, Lee Chin, had worked as a unit nurse on the set of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. At the age of 5, Elliot and his younger sister moved to California and enjoyed all the trappings of the Hollywood elite. But when his parents divorced when he was 7 years old and his father remarried, it triggered a long struggle with mental health. Elliot grew up with few friends and was quiet, shy, and possibly had underdiagnosed Asperger's syndrome. By the time he was 13, the lonely teenager had immersed himself into the fictional cyberworld of World of Warcraft, and his only companions were the heroes and villains of the online fantasy game. In high school, he was bullied, and an entry in his diary at the time highlighted how he viewed the world. He wrote, "I was an innocent, scared little boy, trapped in a jungle full of malicious predators, and I was shown no mercy." Eventually, Elliot moved to Santa Barbara City College. He had the black BMW, designer clothes, and sunglasses, but the one thing he craved was a girlfriend. And the frustration and anger he felt at not being able to connect to girls was clear to see in a series of videos he posted on YouTube.
I don't know why you girls are so repulsed by me. It doesn't make sense. I do everything I can to appear attractive to you.
He was a time bomb waiting to explode, and during his time in Santa Barbara, he started planning his day of retribution. His fury towards women drew him to misogynistic websites and forums, and in one online rant, he wrote, "Start envisioning a world where women fear you." Elliot's parents were aware of his chaotic mind, and although he had seen various therapists throughout his life, he had never been formally diagnosed with a mental illness. If he had, he would not have been able to legally purchase 3 handguns. By April 2014, Elliot had stopped attending college, and after not hearing from his son for a couple of days, Elliot's mother Lee became anxious. She knew her son was troubled, and decided to do some research online, and that was when she found Elliot's YouTube account, and realised her son had been uploading some bizarre videos. Although none of them contained a specific threat, the tone of them alarmed her so much that she called her son's life coach, who then called the Santa Barbara District Mental Health Hotline, who were concerned enough to alert the police to make a welfare check on Elliot. He assured them that there was nothing to worry about, and they left without taking any further action or running a gun check. A few weeks later, on May the 23rd, 2014, his day of retribution would arrive, and he uploaded a chilling video.
Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity, against all of you. On the day of retribution, I am going to enter the hottest sorority house of UCSB. And I will slaughter every single spoiled, stuck-up, blonde I see inside there. If I can't have you, girls, I will destroy you. I'll give you exactly what you deserve, all of you. All you girls who rejected me their life. And now
Because of the way YouTube organises timestamps, it isn't clear if the video was published before or after the massacre occurred. It's possible that the video could have been scheduled to be posted minutes after the shootings began. Sometime during that day, Roger murdered 3 people in his apartment. Then in the evening, around 9:17 PM, he emailed a 137-page manifesto to his parents, family friends, and at least one therapist. The email prompted his mother to go to his YouTube channel again, where she watched his son's final retribution video. She then contacted his father, who also watched the video, and called 911. Both his parents then headed to Santa Barbara, but it was too late. As they drove, they heard on the radio reports of a shooting. Elliot had started his shooting spree at a sorority house. When he was unable to get in, he started shooting at the girls stood outside, fatally wounding 2 of them. He then drove to a deli on Dalplayer Drive, got out of his car, and killed another young man. He then continued to drive at high speed, shooting at bystanders and trying to run people over with his car. After exchanging fire with Santa Barbara police officers, Elliot crashed his car. After he was pulled from it, officers discovered he was dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Jared Lee Loughner. Jared Lee Loughner reportedly started showing symptoms of schizophrenia while still in high school. In addition to writing and saying nonsensical things, his thinking was disorganized. He also developed a paranoid obsession with the US Constitution. On October 2nd, 2010, Loughner uploaded a video to his YouTube channel. It was the only video on this channel and is still active today. It's titled, "America, Your Last Memory in a Terrorist Country." The background soundtrack is Drowning Pool's song, Bodies. The person in the video is presumably Loughner, who can be seen staggering towards an American flag, dressed in a strange combination of bin liner, hoodie and a mask. He then proceeds to set the flag alight. The video description is an odd rant about flags, birds and the government. No further videos were uploaded to that channel, but Loughner created another channel called Class It Up 10, which is also still active. To this channel, he uploaded 5 videos ranting about various subjects, including terrorism, currency, literacy, and the government controlling people through brainwashing and mind control. The last video on this channel was posted on the 15th of December 2010, and less than a month later, on January the 8th, 2011, Loughner showed up at a Tuscan grocery store where Democratic Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords was conducting a meet and greet event. He was armed with a Glock pistol that he had legally purchased in November 2010 and proceeded to fire 31 random shots in approximately 30 seconds. Giffords was hit in the head and was one of the 13 people injured in the attack. 6 people who had been at the event were killed. After the shooting, investigators uncovered an envelope inside a safe at Loughner's house. Inside was the handwritten words, "I planned ahead, my assassination, and Giffords." Giffords survived the close-range shooting, but suffered life-changing injuries that compromised her speech, vision, and left her right arm and leg paralysed. Loughner initially pleaded not guilty to the charges against him, which included murder and attempted murder, and after a mental evaluation that resulted in a diagnosis of schizophrenia, Loughner was declared incompetent to stand trial and was sent to a federal psychiatric facility for treatment. However, in August 2012, Loughner was cleared for trial. He ended up pleading guilty to 19 charges. In exchange for his plea, he was spared the death penalty, and the rest of his charges against him were dropped. He was sentenced to 7 consecutive life terms and an additional 140 years of imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Incredibly, the videos that possibly held clues to this tragic chain of events are still viewable on his YouTube channel. Anders Breivik. On the 22nd of July 2011, Anders Breivik posted on various social media sites a manifesto titled 2083, A European Declaration of Independence. It described in detail his militant ideology, and inserted between the text was a link to a YouTube video in which he gave a 12-minute presentation called Knights Templar 2083 that outlined the manifesto. In the video, Breivik can be seen wearing a wetsuit and holding an automatic weapon. Just hours later, at around 15:26, Breivik detonated a fertilizer bomb outside a tower block in Oslo, where the office of the Prime Minister was located. The blast killed 8 people. Breivik then travelled to the Utoya Island, the site of a camp for the Workers' Youth League. At the ferry terminal, he posed as a police officer and was allowed to board a ferry to the island. When he arrived, he went on a murderous rampage and fired intermittently for more than an hour, killing 69 people and wounding 33 others. His youngest victim was just 14 years old. By the end of the day, 77 people had been killed in the deadliest attack in Norway since World War II. Eventually, the Public Force Counter-Terrorism Unit arrived on the island and confronted Breivik, and he surrendered without resistance. After the intense questioning, Breivik made a full confession and revealed the purpose of the attack was to save Norway and Western Europe from a Muslim takeover, and that the Labour Party had to pay the price for letting down Norway and the Norwegian people. In August 2012, he was convicted of mass murder causing a fatal explosion and terrorism. Psychiatric reports initially diagnosed Breivik as having paranoid schizophrenia. However, a second evaluation, published a week before his trial, concluded he was not psychotic at the time of the massacre. On the 24th of August 2012, Breivik was found to be sane and guilty of murdering 77 people. He was sentenced to 21 years in prison, which doesn't seem long for the atrocities he committed. However, this is the maximum penalty in Norway, and he will not be released for as long as he is deemed a danger to society. Trey Sessler. Now this next person is probably the most well-known YouTuber in this list. He created his channel in 2006 and went by the name Mr. Anime. He was one of the original anime reviewers on YouTube and kickstarted some of the biggest names in the anime community today. His channel had around 12,000 subscribers, which was a decent amount at the time, and he was a well-known personality on the internet. In total, he uploaded 322 videos. But over time, his videos became more and more obsessed with guns and violence, and he started uploading videos about serial killers, animal slaughter, and began brandishing real firearms. His drunken ranting was a sign of his state of mind, and on the 13th of February 2012, he uploaded a video called Mr. Anime is Planning Something. In it, he said he was taking a 2 or 3 week break from reviewing, but would still upload some blogging videos. He never explained what he was planning, but seemed upbeat and thanked everyone for sticking with him and watching his channel. Not long after, he uploaded a video sharing his thoughts on NEETs. This was followed by an upload on March the 13th with the video titled Mr. Anime's New Job. In this one, he appears under the influence of something and rambles about having a new job.
So keep supporting Mr. Anime. I'll still be doing anime reviews, but probably not as many because this job will be full-time. But thanks to all of y'all, I've been able to be recognized by some people, and I'm going to be doing some good stuff.
A week after this upload, on March the 20th, neighbours called 911 after hearing shots being fired from the Sesslers' family home. Initially they found nothing, but after returning, they found the house ransacked. Trey had shot his mother, father, and brother Mark. After committing the act, he wrote on the walls, "Why did I do this? I love my mum, dad, and brother." He was arrested at a friend's house just hours after the bodies were found, and later investigators discovered what his true intentions were. He was planning a Columbine-inspired attack at a local school, and had killed his family to spare them the pain of knowing what he had done. At his trial, many believed he would receive the death sentence, and were shocked when he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Pekka Erik Alvanen. On the 7th of November 2007, 18-year-old student Pekka Erik Alvanen went on a rampage at Jokela High School in Finland. He killed 8 people, including the headmistress, a nurse, and 6 pupils. All were shot several times, and had apparently been selected randomly, and the only thing they had in common with Alvanen was that they attended the same school. After the police surrounded the building, Alvanen put his .22 pistol to his own head and pulled the trigger. He survived, but after being taken to hospital with a critical head wound, he later died. In the aftermath of the shooting, his intentions and hatred became apparent after a series of YouTube videos were discovered. His channel name was Sturmgeist89, and he described himself as an 18-year-old Finnish man who is ready to die for his cause. The last chilling video he uploaded was titled Jokela High School Massacre, 11/7/2007, and it featured a still photo of a low building that appeared to be Jokela High School. The killing spree came just hours after this video was posted, the last chapter in a grim catalogue that foreshadowed his deadly intent. Alvanen was described as a lonely rider who had been bullied at school and had few friends. His behaviour a year or so before the attacks was described as erratic, and his parents were concerned about his mental health, although they had no clue about just how disturbed he was. But his YouTube videos and blogs told a different story. He was fascinated by Stalinism and Nazi ideologies, and saw it as his job to rid the human race of the failures of natural selection. He called them the Manifesto of a Natural Selector, and ranted about a society he no longer wanted to be a part of, and even predicted that he would kill people. He also uploaded a variety of scenes from Schindler's List, in which Jews are tortured and killed. Days before the shootings, he acquired a .22 pistol that he called Catherine, and filmed himself shooting at apples in a forest. This is the same gun he used in the massacre. Although Auvenin's YouTube channel has been taken down, a lot of his footage still exists, and his views and intentions were clear. He had a contempt and loathing for his fellow humans. In one video, Auvenin can be seen brandishing a gun, wearing a t-shirt proclaiming humanity is overrated. In the suicide note he left for his parents, he said goodbye to his mother, father and brother, and explained in detail his hatred towards society. So that's 5 killers who had YouTube accounts and uploaded videos, creating an eerie reminder and an insight into their minds before they committed these horrendous attacks. Rest in peace to all of the victims who died at the hands of these killers. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll